film review video for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in their recent loss to the San Francisco 49ers. In the previous video, we talked about the Donovan Smith penalty and how it was a crucial mistake for the Bucs earlier on in that matchup. In this film review today, we're going to be looking at a positive play from the Bucs in this matchup, and it was the Russell Gage really weird looking touchdown that we're going to talk about. I am yet again not alone in this film review. Joining me yet again from the Cannon Fire podcast and my colleague from BucsNation.com, it is Mr. Evan Wanish. Evan, how you doing today?
Doing pretty good. Happy to be on doing these film reviews with you, and it's always fun watching film, so looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. So we're going to show the previous play here. Obviously, this has no merit on what we're saying, but it was an incompletion intended for Julio Jones. That is what it is. But Evan, now we get into the play here that we are looking at. So at 54-21 of the game, well, this is the all-22 film. What do you see in this formation here?
Yeah, so obviously the Bucs have Mike Evans pretty well isolated here. He's on one side of the field. I believe they have Cameron Brate, Russell Gage, and Chris Godwin on the other side. Obviously the running back in there. So unlike the last play that we looked at, they have a running back and a tight end in there. It's not a 5-wide receiver set. The 49ers are in more of a base defense than they were in the previous play that we looked at. So they have 4 down linemen, the 2 linebackers there, the safeties kind of roaming around there as well as the corners.
Yeah, definitely from what I can see here, Mike Evans is at the bottom of your screen. I would say in terms of this, obviously in terms of pass rushing opportunities, you got to give the advantage to the Bucs. It's 5v4, but the 49ers are definitely looking to make sure that nothing is going to happen underneath here before the end zone, right? You have all these guys that are moved down. Nobody is in the end zone right now, literally, and nobody goes into the end zone besides this one 49ers player that's right on the line. So they're fully expecting the Buccaneers to probably take something short of the end zone and then just try and run it in, which is basically essentially what the Buccaneers do in this situation. So let's go ahead and see. Tom Brady's in the shotgun. Fournette is next to him, as you said, 4 wide with Cameron Brate in there. So let's go ahead and see what happens. A little bit of motion from Chris Godwin where he moves inside and Russell Gage is on the outside there, Evan. So go ahead and take the snap. The 49ers do only end up rushing 4 here in this situation, and all these players are in coverage against just 4 pass catchers right now. And Fournette, he is going to go out and run a route as well, but you've got a guy right here who's just pinned on Fournette, right? What are you seeing here in terms of these routes with this coverage from the 49ers?
Yeah, so it obviously looks like Evans might be running some sort of out route to the end zone, whereas Gage is running an out route sort of short of the sticks there. Hard to tell exactly what Brate's doing there. Fournette still obviously very early in his route as well, but Godwin's sort of roaming in that middle space there. And I think the objective is to actually get the ball to Godwin based on, sort of clearing out the middle of the field. You got Evans going one way, you got Gage going another, and then you have that middle of the field kind of open for Godwin, which as we'll see here, and I think it's better on the other angle, but actually a really good play by Drake Greenlaw because Godwin's open. You're able to see it better on the other angle, but we'll see here that Godwin is actually open. The pass rush gets there a little bit, and Brady has to hold on to it for just an extra second, which allows Greenlaw to get a hand on it.
Yeah, so we go ahead and take a look at the play here.
Like right there, like he's open.
Yeah, right there. You can tag him. That's a touchdown probably because 54-29, they're after Brate,
Yeah.
So Greenlaw kind of has a lot of responsibility here because you don't necessarily know where Fournette's going to go in this situation. So Greenlaw's kind of got to have 2 eyes here, one eye on each guy, right?
Yeah, so we look at Godwin, but then you also have to look at the quarterback. And right there, Brady's facing some pressure there. Yeah. I'm not sure if it looks like Donovan Smith.
It looks like Smith and Wells.
Yeah, that's Nick Bosa in there. So Brady has to, you already see he's starting to move. So if he had a clean pocket, you could hit Godwin right there and it's a walk-in touchdown.
Mm-hmm. Right. So we go ahead and we forward the play a little bit. Fournette.
Still open.
Yep, Fournette is going.
Still open.
To actually take this kind of like check downy type route. So like you said, it's almost like this play was specifically designed for Godwin to just be open, smack dab, just sit in the middle.
Yeah, he's wide open right now.
Right. And Brady, he has to move
Still
up.
Open.
There's pressure given up by Smith and Wells on that situation. Brady moves up in the pocket. He does hit Godwin. Greenlaw did a really nice job of like kind of staying in the middle of that zone, kind of keeping an eye on Fournette and also seeing what Godwin's up to. Greenlaw is able to, I believe it was deflecting the pass.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we see
Johnny on the spot.
Right. We see Russell Gage come down with the super wild acrobatic-y type of catch. Now, I want to rewind this a little bit because it's important to figure out how the heck did Russell Gage even get there in the first place, right? So he's initially going out, right, as we talked about, but then he's cutting back inside, which is kind of weird to me. But
again, though, I think it's kind of designed to get the ball to Godwin. That initial out is designed to get the ball to Godwin, to sort of get that defender over to that side of the field.
Right. So like, I don't know what Gage was supposed to do after he just went out like that. You know what I mean? But he's working his way on the inside. I mean, they must have...
Brady just a little late on the throw.
Right. And Gage was working his way back inside. I don't know if they meant to just have two guys in there just in case. You have two options there, but of course Gage makes that acrobatic catch. It's kind of like a go back and then back in type of route. This is going to be a good look too, because this is going to see the pressure that was given up. Right.
Yeah.
So
this is going to be a better look at Godwin. Pretty much keep an eye on the middle of the screen. Pretty much. That's pretty much where Godwin's going to sit. Right.
And we look here. That's Nick Bosa. That's Nick Bosa doing Nick Bosa things. Josh Wells did okay in this rep. Generally, Nick Bosa was the one who was causing the most havoc here, made Brady move around in the pocket. If Brady would have had a second more, that's a touchdown, you know?
Yeah.
There. So Brady moves up, and you see Greenlaw. He notices now. He's shifting his legs. He's going to run over to Godwin. Because
that's a lot of space to make up in a short amount of time. So it was a late throw by Brady, but also a really good play by Greenlaw.
Yeah, and you look here, Godwin even moves a little bit closer to Greenlaw. If he would have moved to the right instead of the left, I think it would have been... I mean, obviously that's, doesn't really matter necessarily, but there's just unfortunate movement there. But look there, Brady goes to hit Godwin, and here we see Greenlaw. Now, is he able to get a hand on that?
I believe he did get a hand on it, yes.
And then it is batted up, and Russell Gage makes the insanely acrobatic touchdown there.
But again, we look at, and we don't mean to nitpick, but like Donovan Smith kind of wrecks this play. Nick Bosa, they do kind of a stunt. And Nick Bosa goes inside. Smith's not realizing it. But if Brady has time, he can hit Godwin right there.
Easy, right there. If Bosa would have been contained right here, easy. Look at the space. Like, that's too much space, between 57 Greenlaw and Godwin right there. The other two defenders that are right behind Godwin aren't even looking at him, So that you see there where Nick Bosa is able to disrupt that play. And here's where Greenlaw's legs are shifting over to Fournette and Evans. But then he's able to shift back. Brady gets the pass off late. Greenlaw makes that play, deflects it up in the air. I believe it was also a little bit of a drop on Godwin's part, but then you see here, obviously, Russell Gage is able to make an insane concentration, come down with it, and score the touchdown there. So, Evan, do you have any final thoughts on this play before we go ahead and close off on this video?
Just kind of a microcosm of the Bucs season so far, right? Like, they do a lot of things well. They open up the field for Godwin well. But at the end of the day, there's just small little details that get thrown off. And here it works out in their favor, but small little details that get thrown off and sort of, especially in the red zone, and causes things to go, not great for this team. Like I said, especially in that red area.
Yeah, so really just an incredible concentration play from Gage there, right? Wasn't even the intended target on the play. Of course he wasn't, because, it was very clearly a play designed for Godwin. But Gage, the savvy vet, he didn't out then in like kind of a zig route type of situation. He gets in, makes the super concentrated play, the veteran play, and is able to get the touchdown. Shout out to Dre Greenlaw and Nick Bosa for really making two very phenomenal disruptions on the play. In the case of Bosa with that pass rush rep on Donovan Smith, got him hook, line, and sinker. Then in the case of Dre Greenlaw, was able to get that pass deflection in coverage, but was just not his play. That was just a Russell Gage type play. This was also Tom Brady's 100th touchdown pass for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Evan. So congratulations to Tom Brady for that. Evan, before we go ahead and finish off this video, do you have any final words?
Yeah, you can catch out my written work at BucsNation.com, and then also check out my podcast on Cannon Fire Podcast.
All right, guys. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope you all enjoyed. Let us know your thoughts and opinions about this play down in the comment section below. We would love to hear it. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. And we'll see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.